Hello there. Happy Friday, everybody. I am going to be doing this weekly update. Last week I talked about some songs. Today I'm going to do a little bit more of a reflection on the week and talk about that. So let's dive into it. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about was, you know, everybody who participated in the poll that I put out about what video to create for this week. And I just wanted to share with you that I did actually listen to that. And I just released a video about the reality of songwriting. Excited to hear about your feedback about that. So please take a look, check that out. And I wanted to share as I was creating that video, thought a lot more about the creation process and the creativity, needing to fuel your creativity, and a book came to mind, and so I wanted to share this. So this is The Artist's Way, and this is a book that I've gone through a couple different times, and it's really, you read a chapter and you do some exercises that fuel your creativity. And if you're writing a book or you're writing lyrics or you're writing a poem or any kind of creative pursuit, this book can be really handy for that. So I wanted to mention it because it really helped me a couple different times that over the years, I've kind of pulled it out and used it a couple of different times to, check that out and keep that in mind. So I will include a link in the description for the book if anybody's interested in checking that out. Maybe if we get enough people interested, I will think about putting together a group and we can review that. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, for the week, the struggles that I had for this week. Last week seemed to be technical challenges. This week, I think it was just getting through this video that I put together because it kept expanding over time. And it got me thinking about scope of projects and scope of activities that we're working on and being able to manage when that is going to get finished, when you're going to say, no, I already have enough content for that and I don't need to add any more. And so keeping that in mind for the projects for this upcoming week. So two things, scope, and then the other thing related to that is the boundaries that you have to set in order to achieve your goals. So making sure that you make time for yourself again, we'll come back to the fueling creativity is an element. And then really taking what you need out of the daily life so that you can make sure that you are staying strong in completing your projects and your tasks that you need to focus on. And then let's see, I don't see any comments in the chat or questions. So, one of the questions that I have gotten is why do I really like Bob Dylan so much? And it's kind of interesting. Uh, in the most recent video that I released, I didn't talk about him as a songwriter. I did kind of an analysis on a number of different songwriters, and I didn't include him in that group. I was trying to go for a lot of different type of artists in different genres to compare and contrast that. And I think I might have to do a whole video just on Bob Dylan. So that might be in my future, since I got noticed that a lot of people find him and his work really interesting. So I'm going to put that on the to-do list for the future. But if anyone has any thoughts on things that they would like to see in the future, please add it into the comments of any of my videos. I'm constantly checking the comments. So make sure to check that out. And I hope you all have a great weekend and enjoy your Friday. And hopefully you can make some music over the weekend, whether it's writing songs or creating, using your instrument, playing for an audience, or just enjoying it by yourself. Enjoy your weekend, and I will catch up with you next week. Thanks. Take care. Bye.